In today's video, I'm going to be giving you 25 things Siege players just can't resist and do that are completely useless. And a lot of players still do them when they even lead to you dying. And if you'd like to catch me when I'm live on Twitch, there's a link down below in the description. Number 1 is reloading way too often. Some players in Siege will end up having a ton of reload clips on the floor after they've gone ahead and made a mess with them. Or maybe you're just that one guy that likes to reload after every one bullet with his LMG. And let's be honest here, we've all done this before, don't lie to me. And this is such a bad thing to do in Siege that it'll often lead to you dying because you're doing it. Next up is destroying things around the map. While it may feel really good to do it, often it is completely pointless. However, if you do end up with some bad teammates, you might want to go on a complete rampage just to relieve a little bit of stress. And in Siege, you can pretty much break every single object that comes into your path, including your teammates, but it's best to stay away from that one. Now, turning it around to bad teammates to absolute godly teammates, or you're just godly yourself, we've all done this before. We visioned ourselves as a Pro League player. It's a 1v5 situation in the final game of the series, and you're there, ready to bring it home. You've been training for this moment your entire life, and you are in the zone. That's right, you're there in the prep phase, pre-firing and shooting everything, imagining yourself as a Pro League player, when realistically, you're just shooting at air. Don't tell me I'm the only one who's gone around pre-firing and shooting, pretending I'm in a situation like that. Next up is knifing the ground after you get a kill. We've all done this before. You pull off a kill, it switches to the kill cam, and there it is. We see you pull off the knife on the ground. It really does make you look like a champion player. And then we have making artwork with melee holes. I don't know whether I'd call it artwork, but hey, it's creative. If you made a smiley face out of melee holes in a wall, 5 out of 5. That one deserves a golden star. Next up is making music with your guns. Does that sound familiar to you? It's practically the national anthem of Siege. Well, let's be real here, any FPS game with a weapon in it. And if you do this and your teammate does it back, you know you've got a good team on your side. Then we have trapping your teammates in plane. If you're not quite sure what I'm on about, you're probably new to the game or, well, yeah, you're new to the game. On plane, there's a little container area where you can trap a teammate in with reinforced walls and never let them out. It's practically a dungeon, and this is completely useless and doesn't help your team out. And I'm still having flashbacks to that day I got trapped in there. Those reinforced walls are pretty lonely. And then we have shooting out the radios. There are a lot of different musical sounds on every single map in Siege, but nothing really comes close to the concealed radio. Many players shoot it out, but I choose to vibe to it. Next up is looking at the scoreboard. This is really bad, and you've all done it before. Some of you probably have an addiction to it. And no, your KD isn't going to magically go up 5 seconds after you've just checked it. You'll get mad at yourself and you'll get mad at your teammates because, realistically, they're a thermite copper hard breach main. And continuing down this path, we have checking your KD. You know, after you played that amazing rank game, you're fragged out and you go to check your profile to see if your KD's gone up. And believe it or not, it hasn't. Checking your KD like this after every single rank game is just going to get into your head. Don't do it. Because a little tip for you, KD is completely useless. Do you find yourself looking at the store and never actually buying anything? That G2 bundle looks really, really good. But oh wait, you've got no credits. I've been there, you've been there, and we've all been there. Don't do this, you're just going to make yourself want it even more, and realistically, you can't actually get it. Or maybe if you're feeling down, you've just lost your rank game, you know what'll cheer you up? An alpha pack. That's right, the one where you always get black ices and never get duplicates. Don't do this, it's going to make you even more sad because you'll open up an alpha pack hoping to get a black ice, you'll get a duplicate. One rank game lost and another black ice gone down the drain. Then there's don't rage at your teammates. Little Timmy is just new to the game and he's learning how to play. Leave him alone. It's not going to help you or your team out if you rage at them, so just put it away and save it for your alpha pack. Then we have probably the most plagued thing on Siege itself, typing GG easy. Completely unnecessary. If you're gonna type in the chat, be classy about it. Do you know how I feel when someone does that? I feel like this. So next time, put your top hat on, be classy about it and type GG. Then raging at yourself. Often players will do this and it doesn't really get them anywhere. If you rage at yourself, you'll end up breaking your keyboard, breaking your monitor, throwing your controller against the wall. That really is a starter pack to Siege. Save yourself the extra keyboard or controller, just don't get mad. And then we have getting your abilities out over and over again. Now, for me, this is only with a few operators, specifically Ella. You take out that Grizzop mine. Whoa, look at that. You know what? I quite like this. Let's do it again. Maybe one more time. Yeah, again. Stop right there, set up the site, and stop doing it. Does anyone else do this? Do you pretend your drone's in an F1 race? You have a level 267 dock main chasing you down with his MP5. He's currently hunting you down with his MP5 Black Ice. You're an F1 car. Get out of there. And boy oh boy, it does feel good when you end up losing them and winning the race. Surely, I can't be the only one who does this. Probably the most toxic thing you can do with Twitch at all is zapping your teammates' drones. The amount of times I've done this and the amount of times people have done it back to me. If you end up doing it, it's not going to help your team out at all. You're just losing more intel over time. And as well, zapping people with your Twitch drone is the most unnecessary thing you can do ever. It does 1 HP. So let's leave both of them to the side. Then we have shooting your weapon and reloading it, however, only 1 bullet. I do this way too often. I shoot 1 bullet in the prep phase, I pretend I've just hit an incredible one-tap headshot, and reload my weapon. Not only are you wasting ammo, but you're also wasting your own time. And you might end up accidentally flicking onto your teammate and team killing them. This has happened before. Save the one-taps for when you really get into a proper game. Have you ever shot out the glass on the barricade on a window? Well, don't do it if you are going to be attacking. I know you're trying to pull off an amazing wallbang onto the dock main who's spawn peeking you. However, shooting that glass out reveals your sound a lot easier to the defenders. If you're rappelling up there, it's a lot easier for the defenders to hear you because of the sound travels a lot easier when the glass isn't there. Then there's the people who spam the loadout button. You're looking to check what loadout your team have brought and what gadgets. However, some people take this to the extreme and start doing it multiple times over and over again to the point where it might look a little something like this. I know you can't believe it, but you do actually have a Blackbeard with a DMR on your team. Does this one look familiar to you? Yep, you guessed it, crouch spamming. Usually seen on your typical Ash main rocking a Black Ice and coming in hot, rushing into a Capcan trap whilst crouch spamming. It really isn't the best thing to do every time you pick a gunfight. And I've got to admit, it's quite a hard one to get rid of once you have it. Then there's sending your drone into the site. You might not realize it, but you shouldn't be doing it. How many times does your drone get destroyed? After every single time, it's going to get shot out when you're trying to get it to the site. Save your drone and put it all the way back there. It is raining money, quite literally. You're playing on Clubhouse, CCTV and cash. Cash is the key here because everyone starts shooting out the cash on the floor. At least someone has done this in your game. While it does look cool when it starts raining down money, it is a waste of time. Then we have shooting out a camera when it doesn't actually need to be shot. Way too many people do this. You're making a stealthy approach from the left, you're coming in, you're quiet, then you shoot out the camera when no one's even on it. And all of a sudden, a Kavira is interrogating you the next second and you've lost your ranked game again. My oh my, and that small little camera you shot out led to a 10 losing streak, 10 games. Now if you do need 100 tips of Crimson Highs, there's a card in the top right with that video, because after this one, you're gonna need it. Thank you for watching, be sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe for more tips and tricks videos, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.